Hi everybody, this is Bogus Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the NECA Mirage TMNT Auto T exclusive blue Renet figure. So before we take a look at Renet, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the numerous accessories that she comes with. So first up, she comes with Lord Simultaneous's head, and this is cast in a really nice translucent plastic with some really nice black paint details. The yellow eyes look really good. He does have a peg hole there in his head, and I think it would have been really nice if he would have came with a clear stand. That way you could kind of have his head floating like that. And since this is in translucent plastic, it looks really good with some light underneath it. That looks really cool. It almost looks like the eyes are glowing. I really like the way that looks. Up next, she comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, she comes with a set of open hands. And switching these out feels really tricky. Her hands are done in kind of a soft, pliable material, and the actual pegs themselves are done in a hard plastic. And it feels like these are going to rip whenever I'm switching the hands out. I had one of the movie turtles do that. The hands were done in a soft material, and the pegs were done in a hard plastic, so the more you switch it out, the more it's going to get really thin right there and just rip. So definitely be careful switching these out, because it feels like these could break at any time. Up next, she comes with accessory holding hands. Up next, she comes with this scroll, and it's painted really nicely. Would have been cool if it opened up, but it doesn't. Up next, she comes with this dagger, and it's painted really nicely. It has brown paint to the handle, some black lines painted on, and then this yellow line up through the blade. That looks very nice. Up next, she comes with her time scepter, and this is sculpted and painted really well. I love the way this looks. And she can hold it really firmly in her hand. I was afraid, since the hands are kind of a pliable material, that it might slip out, but she actually has a really tight grip on that. And finally, she comes with a hoodless head sculpt and the hood down here to put around her neck. And this looks really good. The sculpt work to this head is very, very nice. I like the paint on the hair. You get a lighter blonde and a darker color and some black. I don't know if that's considered cel-shading or not, but it looks very nice. You have her earrings there done in black. This is a really awesome looking head sculpt. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the main head sculpt. So taking a look at the main head sculpt, it looks just as good as the hood down head sculpt. I really like the way this looks. And she has her helmet piece right here with the clock on it, and it is removable. I think that's really awesome that it's removable. And it stays on there very snug. I was afraid that it might pop off. But yeah, once you get it on there, it actually stays on there really well. She comes with a wired fabric cape, and this looks really good. I feel like the stitch work around the neck could have been just a little bit better, but the rest of the cape looks really nice. On the outside, it's done this really nice light blue color, and on the inside, it's done in black. And since it's wired, you can get some really cool poses with this figure, kind of making it look like it's floating in the wind. I love the way that looks. I'm always a sucker for soft goods on figures, especially if they're wired. And this just works really, really well. All of the clocks on her suit are sculpted and painted very nicely. One complaint I had is if you lift the arm up, you can see where this was stuck. I did have to boil this and wrestle with this to get this unstuck. It was a bit of a process. Now I can move her arm up and down, but there you can see where more of it was stuck. Yeah, that looks really bad if you move the arm down like that. If you have the cape like I have it, it hides that for the most part. But yeah, this left arm was stuck something terrible. It took me forever to get that apart. I think it might have been the paint that did it, but I'm not totally sure because it almost looks like glue a little bit. So yeah, definitely be careful with that. The gold bands on her gloves are painted really nicely on the right side. On the left side, I feel like you can see some blue showing through. That could have been done just a little bit better on this side. And the only other paint that she has is the white boots with some black lines over top of it and some black lines there on her knees. Like I said, I'm not sure if that's considered cel shading or not, but I really like the way it looks. It really gives it that comic book feel to it. So now let's go ahead and go over her articulation. So let's go ahead and take this off while I do the articulation on the head here. She has a ball-jointed head that can look up just a little bit. She can barely look down at all. She can move side to side very nicely. She has ball-jointed shoulders that can move all the way out. After I boiled this side, it can now move out. She has swivel at the bicep. She has double-jointed elbows that can bend in all the way. She has swiveled wrists that can move side to side and up and down. She has a ball-jointed diaphragm that can move back very slightly, forward very slightly because of the sculpt of the clocks there. Side-to-side movement there. She has ball-jointed hips that can do a complete split. She has some very nice articulation in the hips. She can kick forward all the way. She can kick back all the way. She has a very nice thigh swivel, double jointed knees that can bend all the way in, swivel the ankle that can move down all the way, up all the way, and an ankle rocker. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here she is next to the cartoon Leonardo figure. I don't have any of the other Mirage figures to compare Renet to. I really hope the re-release of the Mirage Turtles happens real soon, because I definitely want those in my collection. And finally, there she is next to the movie Leonardo. So if you don't have any of the other Mirage Turtles, the place that she fits the best is with the cartoon Turtles because of the cell shading. But yeah, the movie Leonardo is just a little too realistic to fit in with this figure. So overall, I would highly recommend picking this up. This is the version of Renet that I wanted first. I do think this blue version should have been the retail version, and the red version should have been the Auto T version. It's been a little bit of a fiasco with Auto T, but overall, I got this, and I'm really happy to have her in my collection. This is the version I wanted the most. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.